practices. I think they were very well thought of.
But despite Reggie Weeks Jr.'s reputation, everyone knows the stepfather is always the first suspect. Well, almost everyone.
I don't necessarily look at it as if the family is always the first suspects. I look at it as if they're always the first people you want to go to interview.
Either way, interviewing both Reggie Weeks Jr. and Brittany's mother, Tina, is crucial to solving this case. And the more people listening in, the better. Salisbury police detective J.D. Barber is a country boy through and through.
I couldn't live anywhere else. I love living in the South. There comes the bull. I like the quietness of the country, the quietness of the farms. It's just what, to me, Southern living is.
And while peace and quiet are all well and good, J.D. Barber also knows the meaning of hard work.
I guess you could say I had two full-time jobs. I was a police officer, and I'm also a full-time beef farmer.
But on July 11th, his day job is calling, and Detective Barber is going to work the murder of a teenage girl until the cows come home.
Anytime you see somebody that's younger and not had a chance to live their life is always hard. I get very involved because we're having to speak for them because they can't speak for themselves anymore.
But now, it's time for Barber to listen. Less than 24 hours after Brittany's murder, both Reggie and Tina Weeks head over to the Salisbury Police Department for a formal sit-down. Anytime
you're doing an interview with a family member, and in particular ones that have found their family members murdered like this, you got to be sympathetic to them.
At the same time, police need to make sure Reggie Weeks Jr. has himself one good alibi.
He was the last one to see her that morning, and he was the first one to find her that afternoon when she was deceased. We need to get details from him on his whereabouts.
And his whereabouts are certainly detailed.
Reggie Weeks Jr. told us that his day started at about 7, and he left home. He told us that he went to a job site on Bourbon Street.
And then he proceeded to a home on Pinewood Avenue in Salisbury, where he repaired some sheetrock in a bathroom.
At that point, he went to a mechanic shop and then had one final errand.
Reggie Weeks had told us that he was supposed to meet with a woman sometime after 4 o'clock that afternoon for a job that she was wanting done.
To get ready for the job, Reggie Jr. met with his dad and owner of the company, Reggie Sr.
They drove back to his home located on Scale Street to pick up some proposal papers to go meet with this lady about doing some work at her home.
He said that he went inside of his house, went to where the proposal papers were, saw that the drawers in the computer stand were ajar, and he thought that was odd.
Odd because their modest home is usually neat and tidy.
So he called her name.
Brittany.
She didn't answer, opened the door, and saw Brittany laying on the bed. So he went into the room and tried to wake Brittany up. He told us that he saw a hole in her neck, and he grabbed and held her.
Reggie starts screaming, and his dad hears the scream from outside and comes running into the home.
It's an upsetting story to recount. And the details of Reggie Jr.'s alibi still have to check out. Meanwhile, Brittany's mother, Tina's alibi, is less complicated.
Her day consisted of going to work and staying at work until about 4 when she returned home.
It looks like Brittany's parents are on the up and up.
Mr. Weeks told us that he was willing to do whatever necessary